So if you guys are following along in the 77 LeMans here, which I hope you are, you know that she's mechanically should be all just good to go, right? It's time we take her out for a little shakedown run, make sure we didn't miss nothing, right? But in the meantime, we got other projects that we can't get into the shop. So if we got her out of here, and we don't got nothing in here, what am I going to film for you guys to watch me do some kind of butchery on, right? So, on this episode of Pugliese Speed Shop, we're going to show you how to get stuff that don't run into the shop by installing this guy. Alright guys, so today we're putting a winch in. Here we got the Badland. It just sounds tough. 5,000 pound winch. And see what's all in here. I cut it first after the difficulty I had with the power steering thing. Yeah. We got directions. Probably gonna read a couple of those. Look at this little guy, huh? So, mountain plate. So this is a switch you can put like on the dash. So if this thing works out well, I might get one for the Jeep. Probably change that to a 9. And hopefully it comes with this little switch. If not, maybe I can use this one, I don't know. We'll see. All the wire you need to mount everything. That's good. Got over there. Here. Looks like a relay. Yeah. Hook. Badland. You gotta have this. This is it, you know. So guys, it even says on it, you get one free. Where does it say it? Right there. A 1/2 inch shackle included for free. Nice people over there, you know, giving you free stuff. I mean, when you just buy stuff. This is a wired remote. Wiring and plug. Hardware. Yep, it's needed. I don't know what it is. It's a word for it. This one is a Fairlead. I need that one. And then the whole reason we bought it, the winch. I mentioned that heat styrofoam. It gets everywhere. Alright. 5,000 pound Badland winch. Yeah, that's everything that was in the box. So, styrofoam. Now we got to mount this stuff, right? It's going into the ground here in the shop, concrete. So, I'm not a concrete guy. He's probably figured that out. So I went to Ace. It's the place, I don't know. But luckily for me, around here, the area I live in, the Sneed family bought out Ace. So now you walk in, it looks totally different. And they say, welcome to Sneed's. And they're very friendly. And they hire people that know what's going on. You need stuff, go to your local hardware store. You go to Lowe's, you get a guy that's just doing it because he's, you know, second job, whatever it might be. And he's got 6 minutes of training and they just walk around and ignore you. At least that's been my experience. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. So, set me up with a bit. So if you're doing the concrete, you want a hammer drill. Anybody knows any concrete stuff knows that. Guess what I don't have? Yep, hammer drill. I do have an old school drill with a hammer setting. It's not as good as a hammer drill. We'll see how that works. But I got the bit for it, 1/2 inch bit, to go with these little guys. So, what you do, you drill this, well you don't drill this, you use this to drill. And then you drop this little guy in the hole, right? Bam. You want to seat it, however high out you want. And it's going to be a tight fit, see? Right? And you put this little guy on, you put this little guy on. And as you torque this thing down, this expands. And it stays in the floor. I mean, hopefully. So, here is our mounting plate. These outside ones mount to the bottom of the winch. Bam! There you go. That's what, these guys. What these little guys are for, right? Going right here, there's a nut in there with it. Nice, right? So that's that. So, you torque it down, obviously, you figured that out. So, these center ones, these 4 here, will hold the plate to the ground, or to your ATV, bumper, Jeep, whatever it might be. Your trailer, whatever. So, yeah, this doesn't fit, right? First thing I gotta do, elongate these holes, or waller them out if you live in Southern Maryland. So, I'm gonna do that. And the reason I did that is because I really want this thing to stay in the ground, So I bumped it up a little bit further. When I went in there, I showed the guy who had a background in concrete work. Like I said, you local guys, right? He's like, yeah, do you want to stay in the ground? I said, yeah. He said, you probably don't want to use this. Now, that's also what came with the winch. Kind of limited right here. If this breaks, well, I'll be pretty pissed off. But, just upgrade to like a grade 8 bowl or something. This is grade 5 or whatever. I don't know why they're not grade 8. And now that I'm thinking about it, I might make another trip to my local hardware store tomorrow and get some of these right here in grade 8. So I'm going to worry about it. We shall see. But, here's what we got going on. Now you know the plan. Yeah, see how it works out. Alright guys, so I quite literally painted myself into a corner. So, you saw I drilled the holes. Here they are, right? Nice, right? 1/2 inch holes are good to go. Already checked it, the bolts that'll go into the floor. All perfect. Then I deburred them and shot some paint. You can see it's real shiny. Ooh. Not that it matters, it's getting out on the floor. But I didn't want it to rust, so I shot some paint on it. And then I forgot about the fact that it's like 1,000% humidity right now, and there's no way this is gonna dry before I'm ready to go to bed. So, got this giant fan over here. I'm gonna turn that on. Have it blowing on this guy overnight, and I will finish that up tomorrow. That being said, tomorrow morning I gotta drive right past the Ace I mentioned earlier, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up those grade 8 bolts to go through here for the, you know, yeah. I mean, they'd probably be fine. That's what the good people at Badland want us to use. But I'm also using this for a little bit more heavy duty than I planned. Possibly. I don't know. Better safe than sorry. I got the extra $4, so why not? So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys. Next day, back down the shop. It's a cool 97 degrees out today, so should be pretty sweet. But let's see what we got here. We got this guy painted up. Well, apparently, I guess it wasn't as dry as I thought it was when I put it there. Not really worried about it. Like I said, it's going just like that down the floor. And I did go to get those bolts. However, they didn't have any grade 8 bolts in that metric size, or any metric size for that matter. So I'll just change these nuts that are already like affixed in here. But there's like a pin in the way here. You can see from the side maybe. There's a pin here. It's a whole thing. So the good people at Badland figured this bolt will work. So that's the bolt that's going in. So that's where we're at with that. So I think the next step is to get this guy out of the shop so I can figure out what kind of angle I need for the line to go out. And everybody's been saying they want to see this thing run and drive, so I'm going to take you guys with me. So it just crossed my mind that maybe before I take this thing out for a ride, I should go ahead and change out that license plate. No, I promise you it's not off a Cadillac I sold like 7 years ago from a state I moved out of like 7 years ago. But yeah, we're going to go legit here. We got them. There you go. Historic. That makes me feel a little old because this car was built the same year I was born. But what are you going to do, right? I'm sure you guys are like, right now, what are you crazy? Showing your license plate online? But here you go, I'll cover it up with my thumb. You know, like them guys on the marketplace, right? When they're trying to sell stuff. What is that all about? I mean, do you got a guy running next to the car while you're driving it? I don't know. I'm sure somebody can comment and tell me how stupid I am, but I don't know. Until then, no, there's a license plate that expired 7 years ago. Oh well. Alright, actually got a legit tag on the car. And let's see how this works. Just pay no attention to I'm sure the wiring is going to be fine. Not bad. Not bad. Alright. Well, we're going to switch you over to the GoPro now and see how this ride goes. Don't know if you can hear me at all, but there we go. Enough gas. It just went to E. That was almost a quarter. We're going straight to the old Wawa, so we'll see what's up. phone with me in case I run out. Megan's got to come save me. It's coming above E now, so we should be all right. Looks like it's got a shift kit in it. Did that before we changed the fluid too. Do it. Brakes work. Really good. Well, good to know. This parking lot is crazy. If it's on E, we can get from the house to the Wawa still. Well, 60 bucks in the tank and we filled her up. Spilled a little bit out, so current gas prices probably costing about $8 on the floor. What are you gonna do? Well, there you go. First actual legit drive in the LeMans. Yeah, so what do we got? We're running right at 195. I just put 60 bucks in gas in it. And that's it. Get back to work in this shop here so we can get on to the next project. Alright, so I took the car for a ride, parked it back there, keep it out of the shop. Flawless. Stayed cool the whole time, rode great. Brakes work well. I wasn't too sure about that truck that pulled out in front of the trailer, but he got out of the way plenty of time. So, shop's empty. I should have had this thing mounted already. Kevin and Wade stopped by and we drank the rest of the beer that was in the fridge. So, not all of it. We were responsible. Relax. Yeah. So, I was going to put the winch here, right? Because I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, I bring the cars. I don't know if I can show you how it is. Like, I come like this, right? And on an angle. Does that work? I don't know. Maybe I'll try it from this angle. Trying to show you what I'm talking about is probably about impossible. So here you go, right? Center of the door. Right there is where I was thinking. No, I went the wrong way. It's backwards on this camera. So my problem is that's a pretty good angle. And yeah, I probably should put it dead ahead, which right is where that cabinet is, that those shelves are. That's not going to work for me. I'm in my head right now. Can you guys tell? I do this a lot. I would get so much more accomplished if I just did stuff instead of thinking about it. I need to be more like Dan. That guy, I'll tell you, that's why I get so much stuff done. So I think what I'm going to do is my initial thing, like when I first started this, like when I first saw it on DD's Speed Shop, was put it dead right in the center of these two. Right there, yes. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's pretty much in the middle of where I got it sitting now, that ain't gonna work. And where I kind of think it should go, that ain't gonna work. Because I'm gonna get another box in here, like a big chest one, and I know, first world problems, right? So, speaking of Kevin and Wade, look at this guy. Kevin constantly breaks my balls, right, about quality tools. What do you gave me? So now I got two snap-on tools. So I got this screwdriver set and that speed handle that was acquired from the Navy. They were done with it though, so it's fine. And yeah, I told Kevin next to the Road Glide and the FXR, that's probably the nicest thing in the shop right now. All right, enough babbling. Let's get to work. Alright guys, so I was trying to film all this drilling I did, and let me show you, this is how deep we had to go, right? 4 times. And that's not a hammer drill. So my advice to you, because no kidding, I drilled on this thing for probably 45 minutes to an hour to get all these holes drilled. So this is a bit I just bought, and it's not bad, but I swear, old stuff, right? This is the only other masonry bit I have. Obviously, I don't do this very often. My father-in-law gave me this thing. It has to be 20 years ago. I did its work on the first house I ever bought in California back in like 99. And he gave me this, and I used it, and then I threw it in the toolbox and forgot about it, right? That thing was way better than that. And this is like, what is this? This is a DeWalt bit. I mean, it's not cheap. 15, 20 bucks, whatever I spent on this thing. Obviously, I had to go deeper, so that was the one to use, but old stuff works better, I'm telling you. So, Jimbo, appreciate it. Worked out good. So, basically, I drilled most of the hole with this, and then I dove into that one. Yeah, I could have started smaller, yada, yada, yada. The guy at the store told me I didn't have to, and really, once I got on that bit, I didn't have to. So, just leaned on it a little bit and got her done. So we bring it down here. She's in there. So there's that Hillman wedge anchor. I got 4 of them. You can't see the other ones, they're back there. Promise you. But that's what's up there. So now I got to figure out the wiring. Where I'm gonna put the relay and the solenoid and whatnot. Probably gonna mount it on this 2x4 back here. Keep it up off the ground. And so yeah, we'll see how that goes. We got all the stuff over here. Pretty simple. Got this little diagram of what color goes where. Some of this guy is even color coded. So we're gonna get to that. Mess with that right now. All right, guys. So I got it wired up. Like I said, color coordinated. Black to black, red to red, blue to blue, yellow to yellow. Pretty simple. This guy plugs on the top here, and this is what goes to your plug, which is what your remote plugs into, right? And then you know, you got your like pretty simple. This connector here is for this guy, which is like for the dash. Not using that in this application, so I ain't worried about it. Only thing I kind of, so this is all the instructions you get, right? It's a little wiring diagram. I mean, you shouldn't need too much more, except for, if you look here, right, white wire comes this guy, right, to your switch, okay, goes over here, and so it plugs into that center little screw here, right? This little screw right there. However, see the size of the connector? It don't fit on there. So it probably took me longer than it should have for me to realize that this little black jumper wire was already installed. So I just put that wire here. It's just a ground, no big deal. But it took me a minute to realize that you know, rather than just going there, I just put it there, and it's obviously the same thing. But since it took me that long to figure it out, I figured I'd show you guys. But this is all done, so I'm going to put these on the winch and finish it up. Alright guys, so we got the wires roughed in here, and this is what we're looking at. So then we put that relay up there, then those wires coming down to the winch, I'll probably shorten those so they don't look, you know, so JV. And then, same with the black and the red going to the battery. I think I'm going to stick the battery like on this shelf here. Keep it up off the concrete. I don't know, it's an old wives' tale, it drains them or whatever, but better safe than sorry, and I'm thinking it'll look a little cleaner over there. And then for the plug, I'm thinking I'm either going to get something kind of hanging off of here or maybe send it through. I don't know, we'll see what I can do. But I think just having it mounted like this, and then, you know, this is what I think, 15 foot of wire. And right, stick that on there. I think this should be a pretty clean install. I'll run the wire up and over. However, it's definitely 1 o'clock in the morning, and I don't have the right terminals to shorten those wires. I don't have a battery either. And I don't want to start cutting stuff and checking stuff until I know everything works, because, you know, not for nothing, but, you know, it is a Harbor Freight winch, so let's make sure it works before we cut wires and stuff like that. So, yeah, done for the night. All right, guys, hate to tell you that, but it's also where I'm going to leave this video. Like I said before, the kid, he's over there in the Outer Banks on a little vacation with his buddy. And, yeah, he's been on me. He's texting me over here like, hey, when am I getting this video? I got to edit it, because it's Wednesday night, and he don't want to wait till the last minute like his old man did. But, yeah, so this is it for this video. Hey, but you got to ride in the LeMans. You got to see me buy a hammer drill. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know how much they are, but, you know, your time's worth something, right? So that was what I said before, my advice to you, and then I rambled on about something else. My advice was probably buy a hammer drill, or start leaning on that bit a little earlier than I did. Because once I started leaning on it, it worked all right. I mean, it's only 4 holes. But, yeah, so we're going to leave it right here. Got a couple thank yous I want to throw out right now. Number 1, Megan, thanks for going with me to get the winch, buying it, all that. And then she came down here and helped me get out of my own head and said, just put the thing where you wanted to put it the whole time. Sometimes, you know, you need a little kick in the ass. So appreciate that, babe. And then Andrew, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time here during your vacation to knock this video out. And again, Kevin, thanks for the quality tools. So you want to see this thing work? You got to tune in next week, because tomorrow morning, after I make sure it works, I'm dragging the Nissan in and starting the next video. So make sure you're here for that next Friday at 3 o'clock. Until then, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, tell a friend, and as always, thanks for watching, guys.